How to make $4,000 a month with only $12 a week. Most people think you need to be rich to invest. Most people think you need 6 figures in the bank before your money can start working for you. But today, I'm going to show you something completely different. I'm going to expose how just $12 a week, the price of 2 coffees, could eventually build a portfolio big enough to pay you $4,000 every single month, forever, without lifting a finger. Yes, you heard that right. This is not magic. This is not a scam. This is not get rich quick. This is dividend investing, the ultimate way to turn ownership into income, and income into freedom. By the end of this video, you'll know why $12 a week makes more difference than you think, how dividends turn shares into passive income, how compounding multiplies your returns, how a handful of carefully chosen stocks can create real long-term cash flow, and how to avoid the dividend traps that keep people broke. If you stay until the end, I'll show you the math behind how a $400,000 dividend portfolio pays $4,000 a month, and how long it takes with only $12 a week. Section 1. The mind shift. Turning $12 into wealth. Let's start with the simple question. Can $12 a week really change your life? Most people laugh. Most people shake their heads. Most people think $12 is nothing. But that's because most people don't understand one of the most powerful forces in the financial world: consistency times. Time times compounding. You see, wealth doesn't come from saving large amounts. It comes from saving small amounts consistently, over long periods, while your money works harder than you do. If you invest $12 every week, that's $624 a year, something almost everyone can afford. But here's the secret. It's not about the $12, it's about the habit of building assets. Because every time you buy a share, you're doing something most people never do. You're buying ownership. Ownership of companies that make money every day. Ownership of real businesses that pay dividends regularly. Ownership of assets that produce cash flow, whether you're sleeping, on holiday, or sitting on your patio in Thailand drinking an iced coffee. This is where your mindset changes forever. The moment you stop seeing your money as something to spend and start seeing it as something that can buy income, your entire financial life transforms. $12 a week won't buy you a Lamborghini, but $12 a week can buy you shares. Shares buy you dividends. Dividends buy you freedom. It's small, it's simple, and it works. Section 2. How dividends turn ownership into income. So, what exactly are dividends? When you buy a share of a company, you become a partial owner. And as an owner, you're entitled to a share of the company's profits. Some companies keep their profits, but others, especially big, stable, mature companies, pay a portion back to you in the form of dividends. Think of dividends like rent. If you owned a small shop and rented it out, you'd receive rent every month. With dividend stocks, you're renting out your money. The company pays you rent, but we call it a dividend. Here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to show up. You don't have to clock in. You don't have to manage employees. You don't have to lift a finger. Your money works for you. And some companies pay dividends every quarter, every month, and some even increase their dividends every single year. These are called dividend aristocrats, companies that raise their dividend for 25 plus years in a row. Imagine waking up and seeing money deposited into your account simply because you own a piece of a company. That's the power of dividend investing. Now, imagine owning enough of these companies that they send you $4,000 a month. That's not a dream, it's math. And it's achievable. Section 3. How compounding multiplies your returns. Albert Einstein once called compounding the 8th wonder of the world. Why? Because compounding turns tiny contributions into massive snowballs of wealth. Here's the secret formula. Dividends plus time plus reinvestment equals explosive growth. Let's say you invest $12 a week. Let's say your stocks pay dividends. Each time you receive a dividend, you reinvest it into more shares. Those extra shares also pay dividends, which buy you even more shares, which pay more dividends, and on and on. At first, the growth is tiny. Maybe you're earning $1 a month, then $5 a month, then $20. But after a few years, something incredible happens. Your portfolio reaches a tipping point where your dividends buy more shares than your $12 contribution does. That's the moment compounding kicks into high gear. Your money starts multiplying faster than you can save. This is how $1 grows into $10, $10 grows into $100, $100 grows into $1,000, $1,000 grows into $10,000, and eventually, $100,000 grows into $400,000. Not because you invested a lot, but because you invested consistently. Section 4. How a handful of stocks create real cash flow. You don't need 100 stocks. You don't need to trade every day. You don't need to gamble. You need 5 to 10 solid dividend-paying companies with strong balance sheets, long histories of increasing dividends, stable industries, predictable cash flow, high dividend safety, low payout ratios. Think of utilities, telecom giants, food and beverage companies, healthcare companies, pipeline companies, REITs, monthly dividend payers. With just these, you can build a portfolio that grows in value, pays consistent dividends, raises those dividends every year, provides cash flow you can live on. Now, here's the real magic. If your portfolio yields 12% a year, dividends plus growth, then a $400,000 portfolio generates $48,000 a year equals $4,000 a month. This is how ordinary people, not millionaires, start living off dividends, all from $12 a week. Section 5. Avoiding dividend traps. Beware of traps. Trap 1. Chasing high yield. If you see 12%, 15%, 20% yield, run. These companies are usually in trouble. Trap 2. No dividend growth. If the dividend never increases, inflation destroys it. Trap 3. Not reinvesting early. Your first decade is about growth, not income. Trap 4. Panic selling during crashes. Dividend investors buy more during downturns. Trap 5. Not being consistent. $12 a week works only if you do it every week. Section 6. The math behind $12 per week. $4,000 per month. If you invest $12 per week with 10 to 12% annual returns, 10 years, approximately $10,000, 20 years, approximately $40,000, 30 years, approximately $140,000, 35 years, approximately $240,000, 40 years, approximately $400,000 plus. At that point, a well-built portfolio can pay $4,000 per month in passive dividend income. It's not magic, it's math plus consistency. So there you have it. The truth behind how $12 a week can one day pay you $4,000 a month in passive dividend income. Start small, stay consistent, reinvest everything, let time do the heavy lifting. This is Felix. See you in the next video.